Right guys, welcome now to Tech Tuesday, your weekly look at everything to do with technology in golf. And the first thing to say is Happy New Year. Welcome to 2018. I cannot wait to get going this year. I'm so excited. It's going to be just the best year. You can probably tell I've had a little bit of a break over Christmas. Very enthusiastic today. And what we're going to cover today is we're going to have a look at a new release from TaylorMade. So it's the new M3 and the M4 series. I'm sure you've already seen pictures online. I think the embargo lifted at 2 o'clock today. And then we're also going to have a little bit of a look at YouTube sponsorship, which will be fun. So first up, the M3 and the M4 from TaylorMade. Now, they've stuck to the same format of what they've been doing over the last few years. So you've got the M3 driver, which is the more adjustable one. So the sliding rail system within the M3, it's slightly different. So it's changed from a T shape to more of a Y shape at the back, but it pretty much does exactly the same thing. It just looks a little bit more refined, if that's the best way of putting it. But I can't imagine that adding loads of different performance benefits, to be honest. I think it's just a very similar system to what they were using, just a slight tweak. They've also added in this hammerhead technology. Now this is going to act like a little bit more of a trampoline, just giving faster ball speeds. Also TaylorMade claim. But please remember ball speeds. That's an interesting topic. And what TaylorMade is saying is on toe and heel strikes, it's going to be faster because of this hammerhead technology. And then you're looking at the M4, that being the replacement to the M2, so less adjustability. And certainly with the drivers that they brought out, the M2 and the M1, the M2 was by far the most popular because it went a long way, because of its ease of use. So if that's going to be a similar trend, we'll have to wait and see. There's other cosmetic things which have been changed on the driver as well. So it's silver instead of white on the crown. I, to be honest, prefer the white. I think that the grey and then the black at the back, they don't quite stand out as much as the white and the black did. So I prefer the original M1 and the M2 head design, at least from a crown perspective. But the shape of these club heads actually look a lot better. So they don't look quite as chunky, they look a little bit more compact, they look a little bit sleeker, although I would have preferred the white to be there instead of the silver or the grey. But you know what, that's very much nitpicking. And it's not the main talking point about these drivers. So if you were to look at the M3 and the M4, you'd probably say, well, you know, what's the big advancements here? You know, what are you bringing to the party which is new? And what they are bringing, which is new, is something called twist face technology. So this is a blown up version of what the face looks like. Obviously it's not quite as extreme as this as you put it down, but you can see that there is a departure from the traditional bulge and roll. This has been around for a number of years, so a lot of people know what the traditional club face is about. Now what TaylorMade is saying is that they've twisted that club face to make the toe and the heel shots a little bit more effective. So what I'm going to do here, I've got a press release from TaylorMade. I'm just going to read through about the twisted face technology. I want to give you what they're saying and then give my own opinion on it as well. So to counteract the high toe miss, a hook, the driver face has been twisted open, loft increase and face opened. On the high toe to help straighten ball flight. Similarly to contact low heel miss, the driver face has been twisted closed to de-loft and close the club face in the low heel area. Ultimately, TaylorMade's twist face technology delivers a corrective face angle when hit off center for longer, straighter shots. So to put this in perspective, they're basically saying if you hit it out the toe or the heel, with this driver, it's going to be straighter and longer than if you were to use a traditional bulge and roll face. As far as the other stuff that they've also got a line of fairway woods and hybrids with both the M3 and the M4, and they've also got irons out, so the M3 and the M4 iron series. All those clubs look good. Again, they've carried on with getting away with the white and they brought in that silver to the crown as far as the fairway woods and the hybrids go. The irons look very good. But if they're going to be as good as their P series of irons, which are already out, which are already great, I'm not sure. And it kind of feels like they've just been added on because they needed to be. I can't really see that much of a benefit from these new irons. They're low in loft, they're high launching, they're low spinning, so what you come to expect off TaylorMade irons. For full reviews of these, Rick has tested these completely with all the data, and that should be dropping tonight, but maybe tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And you've got the M4 D-type driver, so those favouring the draw, and you've also got a slightly smaller head with the 440 coming out as well. So I got the 440 M1 last year, which was good, but it wasn't quite as good as the old M2. So I'm going to be interested to test these to see what they're like. I'm just not 100% sure on the face technology. Now, with a bulge and roll face, it's been that way for a long time for a reason, because it gives predictability on those types of shot. However, TaylorMade have got a decent track record of introducing new things into their drivers and it working. So if you think about the SLDR, so the weight moving forward rather than back to decrease spin, to get that loft up to increase launch, that worked. And what you found as soon as that driver came out is most of the other manufacturers did follow suit. You have a look at the crown on the M1 and the M2, so that carbon composite combined with the titanium, it worked better than anything they tried previously. So if this is going to work, I'm just not sure. It's going to take a little bit of testing to see if this works. Out the center of the club, they're making all the same claims as every other driver manufacturer, but this is very much focused on people who don't strike it out of the middle. So probably me within the next few weeks could be useful. But as always, guys, what do you think about this family of clubs, if you want to look at it like that? Do you think it's much of an advancement? Are you looking to hit these? I am looking forward to giving these drivers a go, just because it does introduce something quite new in respects of what they're offering. So it's going to be interesting to give them a whack, but let me know what you think below in the comments. So second thing on the agenda, we're talking about sponsorship and how that affects YouTubers specifically, and how sponsorship is changing in sport. Now, traditionally, sponsorship has worked pretty simply in many respects. So if you take out the last 5 to 10 years, companies would sponsor players. So let's take a Tiger Woods, for example, superstar player with Nike, in the hope that he would spread awareness through what he's doing within his game. Nike could basically cotton on to that and say, you know, we're helping drive this performance. It'd appear on TV, magazines, blah, 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 you know the story. But in the last few years, that has completely changed. As people read less of magazines, watch less on TV, and actually switch more over to digital, everything's changing. And you're seeing this on tour. So what you will tend to find is when a player made it onto tour, say European Tour, PGA Tour, they looked forward, because not only are they playing for more money, they were almost guaranteed to go straight into a clothing sponsorship or a club sponsorship and get logos all over them, because they made it on tour with the expectation that if they played well, they would get exposure for that company. Makes sense. However, what they're tending to find is companies are looking at that and saying, well, what value is that actually bringing? And what's really interesting now is you can measure it with digital advertising and with online things like social media, for example, let's say Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. You can show in no uncertain terms how many views you're getting, how many interactions you're getting. And if you are a marketing director or a marketing executive and you know about digital marketing, what you are now tending to find is people are going into certain spaces. So let's say golf, for example, and they're looking at, say, me, Rick, Mark Crossfield, Me and My Golf, you know, these channels which have grown pretty massively over the last 3 years. And they're saying, well, if we get product or if we sponsor them, they are going to get more eyeballs than, say, even a lesser known top 50 player in the world, which if you think about it is mad. It's mad. It's a completely different world than what we were living in a few years ago. Certainly for us, it's very exciting, but it is completely different. And then it becomes interesting, because how does that affect content? So I'm going to be making naked? Hopefully not. I'm going to be making an announcement on Thursday, Quest for the Open vlog, about a new apparel company that I'm basically moving to. I am really, really excited for what is in the pipeline. But not only am I getting to work with another clothing company, again, I'll make this announcement on Thursday and go into it with more detail, but it's going to change the content that I'm able to produce. It's going to give more opportunities, and it's going to give completely new avenues which I've not had before, and I'm super, super excited. And this is where you have the subject of value. So is signing a deal with a manufacturer or a clothing company, whatever it may be, going to offer better content, and it's not just a money grab? And this is obviously coming to quite sharp focus. So Mark Crossfield, massive YouTuber in the golf space, has signed a club deal with Titleist. And the reason people getting slightly concerned about, that's not the right word, slightly uppity about it, uppity a better word, is that obviously Mark reviews clubs. So signing a deal with an equipment manufacturer whilst reviewing clubs from other manufacturers, that would seem to be a conflict there. So what Mark's done in his videos, he's just gone out to reassure people that the reviews are going to stay independent and he won't be affected by playing their clubs this year. As far as I'm concerned, good on him. You know, if you can sign a deal with an equipment manufacturer and manage to keep your reviews basically unbiased, which is not for me to decide, it's for the people who watch his videos, then absolutely fantastic. It allows extra revenue to come in, so it allows more time to be devoted to YouTube and all the rest of it. And it also gives, like I said, more opportunities for different types of content. And I'm very interested to see where it's going. If an equipment manufacturer approached me, I would be definitely open to that. But it's a slightly easier decision for me because I don't review clubs, I don't review products. So for me, it would be a no-brainer, as long as it provided the extra value at the other end for the people who watch the videos. That's the equation that always has to be measured. And guys, as always, let us know what you think. Comment below, let us know what you think about this changing landscape, what's good about it, what's maybe not good about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts below. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on my other social media platforms as well, which are all linked below. And we will see you tomorrow for, what's tomorrow? I think tomorrow's a bit more of an idea generating video, I think. And then Thursday with the Quest for the Open vid, then Finch Friday. And then we crack on into the new year. Like I said, I can't wait. So guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, share it around, all the rest of it. And we'll see you down here next time.